Before I jump into this video, you already know what to do. Go get your snacks.
I just skirted off in your world.
This house burns. The husband and his children are outside the house. Who's inside the house though? The mom. It was said that the reason why the house burned because the mom wanted to commit murder on herself. She murdered herself. So she burned the house down and shot herself in the head. Now, when investigators dig deep inside this house, the husband said she was going through some things. She was depressed. She didn't want to be alive no more.
She would get depressed over something, but she would never talk to anybody about being depressed over it because she was always worried about how people would view her. And even as her boyfriend, as her husband, the only reason I was the guy who spent the nights with her.
But it turned out that wasn't the case at all. She was actually feeling good. She was loving life way more than the husband was. It was actually the husband who was feeling sad, depressed, maybe angry. Why? Because his wife was filling out divorce papers. The wife was even scared when filling out these divorce papers, so she even bought somebody to fill these papers out with her. He said, yeah, I was able to get my kids out the house, but I was not able to get the wife out the house.
911, you have an emergency? What's the problem? Calm down. There's a fire. And my wife she shot herself, but she's in the fire. My wife is upstairs. I'm going to have to go upstairs and try and get her out number. Oh, smoke everywhere. Just a second.
Then this journal was found in the car. It was the wife's journal, and it was this real sad, depressing journal that she wrote. I guess she really didn't want to be alive anymore, unless the husband set it all up. Because she did want to file a divorce. He even had a dream about murdering his wife. He didn't wake up like, my wife, you're still alive. He woke up and it was like, yeah, I murdered you. She didn't burn the house down and shot herself in the head. You shot her in the head and then burned the house down. The neighbors, well, one of them heard a gunshot around 3:15 a.m. He didn't call the cops until around 3:40 a.m. And that's a long time. You don't wait, you want to call immediately. So after you did this, you took your kids and you went outside the house, but gasoline was found on your clothing. Not only that, these 2 wet papers was found on the table. And on these wet papers was the differences between homicide and suicide. Why would these be there? He said, I got them from my job. Let's backtrack to that journal. We gotta compare the handwriting, make sure it's her handwriting, which they did, and they found out that this don't really look like her handwriting. This is differences. So the husband wrote in a journal and he messed up.
Oh no, there's no why. Okay, I didn't do this. I love Ashley.
But people do things to people that
I wouldn't my kids like this. Ever. When her family, I wouldn't my family. I didn't.
So why would somebody wait that long to call the cops, to burn all the evidence? Make sure the house rot. Make sure the evidence he did to his wife, well, the fire, let it get rid of it. So while him and his kid are outside the house, poor kids don't even know that it's their last time seeing their mom. It's done. And to make it even more worse, he said he did go inside the fire to try to save his wife, but there was no marks. Not a single mark on your body. You're not going in the fire like that, coming out untouched. It's just not happening. So of course, you go to court. And of course, you found guilty.
On the primary conviction of intentional premeditated murder in the first degree, I impose a life sentence without the possibility of parole for 25 years.
Now this is gonna make y'all females not gonna wanna walk alone anymore. And I'm serious. This girl, her and her friends, they stopped by to get some food and she left her friend to walk home alone. Her friend last seen her walking on this street by herself. She texted her parent that she was gonna make it home. She was on her way, she never made it home, she vanished. So of course police decided to look at the CCTV footage to see if they see her walking. What was strange is they couldn't find her walking. 6 months later, she was found and it was confirmed that it was a murder. But wait, 5 months later, another girl. She was getting off the bus, see her getting off the bus, and she was walking home by herself late at night. As she was walking, somebody came right behind her, struck her in the back of the head, and it was a hammer. The neighbor said they did hear a scream. This guy, whoever this creep is, Mind you, this is the same guy. Another girl getting off the bus at night. As she crossed the street, a car comes out of nowhere and hit her. Now she already had an odd feeling about this car because she looked at it before she crossed the street.
And where does it hurt?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
The car stopped and took me out.
Yeah.
But me again.
He ran over you again?
Yeah.
So he ran over you twice?
Yeah. And I really hurt.
Police did look at some footage and seen this car following this bus, and inside the bus was the girl. So this guy was purposely stalking her and she didn't even notice. And when the other girl got struck in the back of her head by a hammer, she was probably getting stalked and followed. She didn't even notice. But wait, another girl. I know, guys, hang on with me. She was walking alone by herself at night. Innocent girl, just look at her walk. And out of nowhere, same guy comes behind her, struck her in the back of her head. It was a hammer. She went to the hospital, but she passed away. Have y'all noticed something similar about these cases? About these 4 girls? But wait, another girl. Her and her boyfriend got into an argument. So she left the house and she walked home late at night by herself. This guy seen her walking by herself, stopped his car and asked her, "You need a ride? You need a lift?" She said no, but he wasn't taking no for an answer. He grabbed her inside of his car, but he fought her. She fought for her life and she got away and ran off. Now this guy was caught because he was going to school, stopping in his car, talking to girls. Police arrested him immediately. This guy was busted and this guy was found guilty. Alright, y'all, hang on in there. I know this been a bumpy ride. There's one more thing I gotta show y'all. Now there is this girl at the bar. She's alone, enjoying her time. Now these 2 men walks in. They have a plan. And they almost do this plan like they done this before. Pay close attention. They slide the lady $100 bill. 100. Maybe it was to pay for that girl's drink that I showed y'all in the beginning of the video. Once they found a victim, they did a cheer. One of the guy approaches the girl. Now as he approaches the girl, his goal is to make her focus on him. Why? So she can remove her eyes from her drink. Leave her drink alone. Then while the guy is behind her, the second guy, he's gonna roofie her, drug her. Now of course they both just gonna talk to her, act like everything normal because they want it to kick in. They want to wait until it hits her to where she can't have control of herself. Then what do? They both carry her. They tell people she's just drunk, that's why we both carrying her. We're gonna bring her to the car. They bring her to the car and this lady that's carrying this basket spots them. They push her and her things down and the lady screams for help, screaming and screaming. Right before the guys can hurry up and leave, these girls come and they save this girl. The girl was safe. Luckily nothing happened to her. The guys ran off and there's this one girl, I believe she's calling the cops. So with all of that being said, if you're not gonna watch and hold your drink 25-8 in public, especially at a bar, and you're around a bunch of guys, don't drink. Let me just refresh y'all memory real quick that we can't walk alone. Apparently, it seemed like marriage is dangerous. Having a regular boyfriend or a girlfriend is dangerous. What are we missing? What are we missing? Friends. Now this girl named Skylar was sneaking out her house to get in this car. When she get in this car, nobody know what car that is at first. But it turned out she got in a car with these other 2 girls. These 2 girls would be her best friend. But at the time, a lot of tension was going on. 2 of the best friends was getting a little bit closer, kind of pushing Skylar away. The girl who snuck out the house and got in the car. And these 2 girls had a plan that Skylar did not know about. Remember, they all 3 best friends. So they drive Skylar. And I guess in the middle of nowhere, they at night, they park their car on the side of the road and they go into some grassy areas. They sit down, they smoke. They waited till she turned her back away and they counted to 3. 1, 2, 3. They both attacked her with knives. Murdered their best friend. One of the girls smiled in court and tweeted out, "We did really go on 3. Skylar managed to run away even though she got bruises all on her back from the cuts, but one of the girls catches up to her, tackle her to the ground. Skylar begging, "Why are you doing this?" One of the girls stopped, but another girl just keep going, doesn't stop. With that being said, you're better off alone. Nah, I know you probably ain't gonna want to, but just keep that in mind that there are psychos out there. Alright, nah, seriously though, it's the end of the video, but I wanted to tell y'all that, like, I need some ideas for this 100K special. Like, y'all wanted me to do it, but I don't know what to do for this 100K special. I think I do, but I really don't. If y'all have any great ideas, comment them down below. Because, like, the idea I'm thinking about is scary as hell. And it don't really have to be scary, but this idea, scary. Going in the woods, the most creepiest woods by myself going camping for a night where someone was murdered at. That's a little bit too extreme. I don't think I want to do that. But give me some ideas.
I just skirt it off in your whip. Yeah, I just skirt it